Hi friends, welcome back to another pick a card reading. Today's pick a card reading is all about answering the question, what luck are you currently attracting or manifesting next? If you would like to explore my podcast or my online shop, check out the links in my description. And if you are new to pick a card readings, here's how it works. The first thing that you're going to do is you are going to pick the pile or the crystal that you are the most intuitively drawn to. So we have pile 1 here with the double terminated citrine crystal. We have pile 2 here with the bloodstone crystal. We have pile 3 here with the pyrite. And then we have pile 4 here with the Seafoam calcite crystal. You can choose one pile, you can choose more than one pile, or you can choose all of them. It is totally up to you. But when you are ready, you can go to the description of this video, find the timestamp that is linked to your pile, then you can skip ahead to your reading all about what luck you're manifesting or attracting next. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I will see you on the inside. Okay, so pile 1, what luck are you currently attracting or manifesting? Let's roll our astro dice. We have Leo and Pluto. Leo and Pluto in the 3rd house. With Leo and Pluto in the 3rd house, pile 1, I feel like you're going to manifest some sort of transformative luck through things like bold expression, right? Creative communication, and things like powerful storytelling. So I feel like this energy is something that's going to empower you to really captivate other people with your ideas and assert your voice with confidence. So I wonder, for some of you here, maybe you're going to be transforming relationships with either like siblings or neighbors through having these authentic, heart-led conversations. Maybe some of you here will be gaining recognition for maybe like a creative project, right? Or like a blog or a social media thing that you're working on, right? Like content. Maybe this also means that you're harnessing your charisma in either like public speaking or, maybe teaching to influence and inspire other people. But really, I think this energy represents you overcoming mental blocks and unlocking some deep personal truths. We also have the King of Stones here. This one is the King of Pentacles. So with the King of Pentacles here, this represents things like abundance, things like stability, things like success through hard work, things like discipline. This could also be representative of you doing some really wise decision making. In terms of what you're about to manifest, I really do think that you're about to manifest things like financial growth, things like career achievements, and things like material security, pile 1. So I think that you are attracting opportunities for long-term wealth, or maybe you're going to be, diving into investments that really pay off. I think that any sort of financial decision that you make now, it's likely to be very, wise and calculated. It's you making decisions that lead to stability and security. So I also think that this could represent you attracting or manifesting some sort of career advancement, right? Getting some sort of recognition for your hard work or maybe your expertise. I think that there's a lot of you in this pile who are going to get promotions or partnerships or some sort of leadership role. I just really think that with the King of Stones or the King of Pentacles here, you're manifesting respect, right? You're manifesting authority in your field, and you're really becoming somebody that other people look up to, right? So I think that the luck that you're attracting here isn't just for personal gain, right? But this is for an opportunity for you to like share your success with others, whether this is through things like mentoring or, philanthropy or supporting your loved ones. I also do think that you're going to have a lot of luck in establishing or maybe even deepening your relationships where things like trust and loyalty and stability are very much emphasized. Maybe some of you here are going to be manifesting a secure home or like a secure family environment. So with this card, I think it reminds us to focus on creating and sticking to long-term financial plans. I think that this reminds us to take pride in the things that we achieve, but also to remain grounded and responsible, right? This is you being generous with your resources, whether this is time or money or your knowledge, right? And this is also representative of you trusting in your ability to handle challenges with things like resilience and things like wisdom. I think that this energy also indicates you stepping into a phase where your efforts to build some sort of like secure or abundant life will start to bear fruit, right? So by you staying disciplined and grounded, you'll continue to attract even greater manifestations, right? Or even greater success or greater prosperity. We also have the Queen of Stones, and this one is the Queen of Pentacles. So I think it's pretty cool that you have the King and Queen of Pentacles. I don't know if some of you here are going to be attracting luck in like partnerships. Maybe you're going to have a divine counterpart that you're manifesting next, or, you know, maybe for those of you who are in a relationship already, this could mean that, you know, you and your partner's finances are in a place that's stable. You maybe both are building wealth. So those are a couple different things here. But the Queen of Pentacles represents things like abundance. It represents things like stability. It can also talk about nurturing energy and this energy of practicality, right? So the Queen of Pentacles is deeply connected to things like financial stability and abundance, like I mentioned earlier. So I wonder if some of you here will find opportunities to either, again, like improve your income long-term, or secure long-term wealth, or to manage your finances in a way that actually brings you more ease and more comfort. Again, relationships are on the forefront here. So maybe some of you here attract relationships that feel very grounding, relationships that feel very nurturing. And these could come in the forms of supportive partners or mentors or friendships that really help you grow both emotionally and materially. I also feel like for some of you here, you're going to be focusing on creating a very like comfortable home environment, right? So I don't know, for some of you, this could also represent like the ability to balance work and personal life effectively. The Queen of Pentacles can talk about that too. And for those of you who are working on any sort of like creative project here, you know, whether this is like a business venture or an entrepreneurial endeavor, I feel like the Queen of Pentacles represents you having success through things like dedication and through things like being practical, like I mentioned earlier. So this could be a sign for you to use your resources wisely, you know, trust your instincts. The Queen of Pentacles also talks about the energy of like feeling content, right? And feeling gratitude. So I do think that you're going to manifest this phase in your life where things really do feel at peace and your accomplishments are something that you're able to share with other people, as it has to do with like your abundance. So the Queen of Pentacles here reminds us to stay grounded, to focus on things like tangible goals, right? And to take practical steps towards them, right? I also think that this is a reminder for us to nurture our resources, whether it's our finances or our relationships or our personal skills. This is the card of investing time and energy into cultivating things like growth and security and stability. So, and the Queen thrives when she's nurturing herself and she's nurturing others, right? So maybe, again, this is you finding a balance between being productive, but then also doing some self-care, right? So, I just think that your home, your finances, you know, your relationships, your emotional well-being, they look like they're all going to be really in a good place, pile one. We also have songbirds. This one says Hexbreaker, Sound Healing, Final Goodbye, and Release. So I really do think that the luck that you're manifesting here with this card pile one is one that's deeply tied to things like freedom, things like healing, things like closure. So I do think that some of you here are breaking cycles, right? You're shedding old patterns and you're breaking free from anything that's been holding you back. I think that this could manifest as some of you here letting go of, you know, things like limiting beliefs or toxic relationships. I just think that with this card, it's time for you to step into a new chapter with a lot more clarity. I wonder if some of you here are going to be using sound healing for some sort of like release, right? So whether you use like music or affirmations or some sort of vibrations or some sort of frequency. I do think that some of you here are going to be incorporating things like maybe sound baths or chanting or using some sort of uplifting music in your routine to like amplify your luck, right? So maybe you look up like what hertz is the hertz for, you know, what hertz is the frequency of manifestation, right? Those kinds of things. There's another channel on YouTube here that I love. I think it's called Meditative Mind, and they have a bunch of different like, you know, healing frequencies, different frequencies for different things. So I like to just kind of play it in the background if I'm cleaning or doing something else. It's just kind of nice. I'll look up like grounding frequencies. So, and I wonder if this final goodbye part here signifies some sort of like necessary closure. I think this is you releasing something that maybe feels like bittersweet, but it opens the door for something greater, right? So I do think that by you releasing something, it's going to attract more opportunities that are aligned with your true desires. So I think as you release what no longer serves you, pile one, you're going to create a lot more space for luck, you know, luck that's tied to peace and joy and harmonious opportunities. I really do think that many of you here are going to be healing relationships, right? Maybe some of you here are going to be getting creative breakthroughs or finding that inner sense of calm. So yeah, I think that with this, it'd be really important to like write down the things that you would like to let go of, you know, maybe release them through some sort of symbolic act, and maybe just embrace change, right? Embrace endings. Understand that sometimes ending one chapter in your life is a blessing in disguise because, again, it makes room for new growth. So I really think that with this card, it's like as you heal and release, you're going to align with that luck that brings freedom and new beginnings and a really uplifting transformation. So this is your reminder to trust the process, pile one. We also have Winter's Dream. This one says gestation period. So with this one, I feel like it represents this time of like quiet preparation, right? Or introspection, where the seeds of your future are being planted, right? And they're being nurtured. So maybe this is not a phase of like visible action, but a little bit more of like internal work where things like growth happen beneath the surface, right? I think that this is the card of patience and divine timing. So I do think that with this card, you are aligning with the luck that really does encourage you to trust in divine timing. So even though like opportunities may not appear immediately, maybe they're forming in the background, right? Maybe they're preparing to blossom when the time is right. I'm feeling very strongly here with this pile. You guys have a creative vision. So I do think that maybe some of you here are going to be going through some sort of like gestation period where you're going to be incubating your ideas or your projects or your desires, right? So maybe your luck comes in the form of some sort of newfound inspiration, right? Or some sort of newfound clarity that leads you in the right direction that you want to take, right? And leads you to something that really does allow you to shape your vision. I also think that this phase for you is going to attract a very big sense of calm, right? A sense of renewal. I think it's a chance for you to either rest or heal or gather your energy for, you know, maybe active periods to come. I wonder if some of you here are manifesting some time off or like a vacation, right? Some rest time. So yeah, I think that with this card, it reminds us to allow ourselves downtime, right? Allow ourselves time to rest without guilt. Trust that rest is productive. This time could be used for things like reflecting, things like planning, right? So whether this is journaling or meditating or visualizing, right? Or doing something to like really clarify your goals and your intentions. I think self-care is coming up again, right? Focus on your self-care and your personal growth because this is what's going to amplify your readiness, you know, when opportunities arise. And it's really also the sign too to like trust the process. So it's a reminder for us to let go of any sort of frustration about delays, right? And just know that everything is unfolding as it should, right? This is you honoring this period of quiet preparation and trusting that your dreams are growing and they're growing strong, right? Beneath the surface, and they're going to bloom in their own time. So we also have nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. So in terms of what luck you're currently attracting or manifesting next, pile one, I feel like this is all tied to things like flexibility. It's tied to things like adaptability, and also this like potential for change. So I just feel like this card, it points to this dynamic energy where like, right, nothing is fixed, nothing is final. The outcome is still in flux, which means that you can actually go back in there and like rework anything it is that you might want to be working on, or anything that you might want to change. And speaking of change, I feel like you're entering a phase where maybe you being more adaptable or you being more open to new possibilities will serve you well, right? So luck will come to you as you remain flexible, right? As you are willing to pivot. I feel like this represents your manifestations being in progress, right? Like maybe whatever intentions you've set are going to be in motion, right? Like they're still taking shape, almost like a wave takes shape, right? So maybe it's a good time for you to focus on what you truly want and learn how to like make adjustments where you need to, right? With the ocean here too, I also feel like it's a sign to like go with the flow, right? Trying to control or to force any sort of outcome could create more resistance, right? So instead, maybe like work with the energies as they change and shift and evolve, right? I also feel like for those of you who feel like you're navigating a period of uncertainty, or you feel like you're walking a path into the unknown, just know that this is going to be a very, very fertile time for big breakthroughs, right? It goes back to the gestation period here. So I do think that your luck is going to come from staying present and staying tuned in to your intuition. So with this, I really do think it's like important to avoid locking yourself into like any sort of rigid plans, right? Leave room for things that are like more spontaneous, right? And maybe focus on trust, maybe focus on having belief in your ability to shape whatever future it is that you want. We also have a super attractor card here, and this one says, each time I choose to tune into spirit, guidance of the highest truth shows up for me. Interesting. I wonder if this also talks about like taking this pause, taking the second to like get grounded, to get present, to tune in, and to really allow yourselves to hear your inner guidance, right? Or messages from the universe or spirit or God or whatever it is that resonates with you, right? We have space for everybody's beliefs here. We also have the Lucky Horseshoe, and this one is a collect luck card. So it says horseshoe, lucky in Europe and North America. From 8th century Chaldeans in Babylon, believing that a horseshoe could protect them from the evil eye, to Saint Dunstan nailing one to the devil's foot, the horseshoe is one of the oldest symbols of luck. Made from iron, which is believed to have magical powers in folklore, and with 7 holes in it, 7 being the luckiest number, it will ward off bad luck and evil spirits and protect your home. And it says how to capture luck. See if you can find a horseshoe in a bric-a-brac shop or search for one online to hang in your home. I don't know if some of you out there have seen lucky horseshoes. Maybe keep an eye out for any signs, symbols, synchronicities involving like the horseshoe symbol. Be open. Maybe some of you here want to work with a lucky horseshoe or like hang one in your home to attract more luck. You can see some of you maybe like hanging one in your office to attract like better business. I just think about that because we have the King of Pentacles here too. We also have Earth sign. This one says Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. So I wonder if any of these signs are, you know, zodiac signs that are either going to be prominent in your life next or prominent in this phase. Maybe you're going to be working with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, maybe, you know, connected to them in some way. Maybe some of you here have prominent earth signs in your birth chart. For those of you who are interested in learning more about astrology, the easy way to understand your signs and the easy way to break down and understand your birth chart, I do have a podcast, so check out my description. I have that linked for you below. It's called the That's Deep Podcast, and I show you how to use self-discovery tools like astrology, like personality types, like human design, and so much more to, you know, leverage your success in your life, your career, your relationships, so much more. So check it out if you feel called. Thank you so much, Pile 1. Please give this video a like if it resonates. It really does help the channel. Comment below with what pile you chose. You know I love to chat with you all in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself. I do hope to see you on the next video after this. I do have a playlist with a ton of pick a card readings on my channel, so check out Tidal Tarot and check out my playlist. I have a bunch of pick a card readings again and a bunch of other videos for you to explore. But if not this time, I will see you back on the next reading. Bye, Pile 1. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out what luck you are currently attracting or manifesting next. Okay, so we have the South Node in Capricorn in the second house. So with the South Node in Capricorn in the second house here, I think that you're manifesting luck through releasing any sort of outdated approaches to material security and things like self-worth. I feel like this energy is encouraging you to let go of any sort of like rigid structures or maybe like excessive reliance on methods that are more traditional in terms of like building wealth, and instead trust in a little bit more of like an intuitive, balanced approach, right? I feel like many of you here are going to manifest some sort of financial breakthrough, right? Like maybe you're going to have some sort of opportunity to redefine your earning methods, whether this is from maybe like making a change from having like overly strict strategies to something a little bit more creative or something a little bit more emotionally fulfilling. I think this is you also releasing any sort of like scarcity mindset, right? Letting go of like overworking or control tendencies that are tied to money and really allow abundance to like flow naturally into your life instead, right? And I also think that you're going to be building like authentic value in some way, right? So I think that you're going to be aligning your income sources with something that reflects your true passions and your values, rather than the things that just feel obligatory or, you know, purely like status driven. So I do think that you're going to manifest more freedom and ease in your financial life or your resources. And you're definitely going to foster a little bit more of a deeper trust in your personal worth, right? Your sense of self-worth. We also have the Six of Vessels here. This is the Six of Cups. So with this card here, it's deeply connected to the feelings of nostalgia or like generosity or things like emotional harmony. In terms of like the luck that you're currently attracting or manifesting, I feel like it's going to be a time when past connections or joyful memories and acts of kindness can really lead to fortunate outcomes. So I don't know, for some of you here, if you're going to be like reconnecting with old friends or old mentors, right? Maybe a friend from the past could reappear and maybe they could bring opportunities or support, right? Maybe some sort of like former mentor or a colleague might offer some sort of career like opportunity for you, right? This is just like one example. This can also represent things like gifts or acts of kindness, right? So maybe some of you receive an unexpected gift or like an inheritance or some sort of token of appreciation, right? And some of you here, like some sort of like acts of kindness that you've done in the past, I think that you're going to be like repaid in some sort of surprising way. The Six of Cups can also talk about things like maybe like a creative or childlike inspiration, right? There's like a mama and her baby here. So maybe some of you here like rediscover a forgotten hobby or some sort of childhood passion that really leads you to something profitable or something that's fulfilling in terms of like ventures that you pursue, right? So maybe for some of you here, opportunities will come up for you that are in fields like education or art or, you know, anything that involves like children or creativity. I also feel like this is representative of you experiencing harmony in your relationships. So maybe like a family member or a loved one could step in to offer you some sort of like emotional or financial support. I wonder if some of you here are going to be going through some sort of like healing or reconciliation, right? In terms of maybe some of you here have dealt with like strained relationships, right? And you want to create more of a sense of emotional peace. Another thing here too is I think that some of you here are going to attract luck in opportunities that are connected to things like heritage or traditions or things that are like nostalgic, right? Maybe you're going to be revisiting a project or an idea from the past that could really lead you to breakthroughs or some sort of financial gain, right? So maybe for some of you, like, say you're manifesting some sort of luck in your career, right? Maybe like an old colleague reaches out to you, or they want to collaborate with you on some sort of like really cool project, or maybe they want to talk to you about a position at their company. Maybe for some of you, in terms of money, a childhood savings bond or some sort of inheritance or some sort of financial gesture from a family member, right, could come to the forefront. You never know. I wonder if, like, for some of you here, like a past partner or a friend, like, could reconnect with you, right? I don't know if some of you here will be like revisiting like childhood dreams, again, like starting a craft business, maybe starting something that you used to love to do as a child. I wonder if some of you here are also manifesting some sort of like reunion or some sort of like nostalgic trip, right? I really do think that with the Six of Cups here, it's encouraging you to like embrace your past, but stay open to like these encounters that feel really serendipitous, right? Because I really do think that the luck that you're about to attract is very much deeply tied to your roots and like the kindness that you've sown. And then in terms of like sixes in the tarot, they can symbolize things like growth, like transformation. So I think that's related to some of the luck that you're about to manifest. We also have the Knight of Stones. This is the Knight of Pentacles. With this one, it typically represents things like steady progress, responsibility, having this practical approach to achieving your goals. So I do think that whatever effort or whatever consistency or whatever diligence that you've been putting in, it's going to lead you to very tangible rewards, pile two. So I do think that you're attracting luck in areas of like financial security, right? Long-term wealth. And this isn't like some sort of sudden windfall, but this is more of like a careful, like a, maybe this is like more of a result of like careful planning and hard work, right? So maybe some of you here see some sort of like steady increase in income from your job, right? Or your side hustle or some sort of investment. Maybe some of you here land a project or a role that feels more reliable, right? Or it gives you some sort of incremental boost to your earnings. Maybe some of you here see success in saving for a really big purchase, right? Or some of you here hit a really big financial goal. You're going to see opportunities for growth and recognition in your career based on you putting in that disciplined effort, right? And based on you being reliable. So maybe some of you here are offered a promotion at work, right? Or you've been given some sort of new responsibility because of your dependable work ethic. I think many of you here are going to be receiving positive feedback for, you know, like your consistency, right? Like whether you're consistently meeting deadlines or you're exceeding expectations. I just think that this is you building very strong professional relationships that lead you to future opportunities. I think this represents you manifesting solid relationships too. Right? I really do think that you are attracting people who are loyal and reliable and practical as well. I think that this is you building something lasting too, right? Like maybe for some of you here, you're going to start a business or some sort of creative project with a very strong foundation that grows over time, right? Or some of you here invest in something that's going to pay off in the future. Or maybe some of you here are dedicating yourself to some sort of certification or course that really does enhance your expertise and it really does open doors for you. And for those of you who feel like maybe some of this luck or the things that you're trying to manifest are moving a little bit more slowly, just know that like with the Knight of Pentacles here, you know, sometimes it can feel like a slower moving card, but trust when I say that like the rewards in the long term, right? Or in the long run are incredibly rewarding. So, you know, keep planting the seeds, you know, keep showing up and keep nurturing whatever it is that you've planted, because like things will bloom in the future, right? Like you're creating long-term success. We also have astral travels. This one says possible impossibility, freedom, traveler, and inner dreams. So with this one, I wonder if like the luck that you're about to attract or manifest next has to do with transcending any sort of like perceived limitations that you have, right? Or like exploring the unknown, or really embracing opportunities that seem impossible but are in fact within reach, right? So this is you maybe like manifesting creative breakthroughs, maybe having luck in tapping into ideas or solutions during like more dreamlike states, right? Or meditative states. Like, for example, maybe some of you here suddenly find a new way to approach a project or a business venture, right? And maybe this was inspired by like a vivid dream, or like you visualizing something, or, you know, thoughts that come to you in the shower. Like sometimes people say they think of the best ideas in the shower. So, I wonder if this is also you manifesting opportunities in unconventional fields, right? Maybe like in areas that really do defy traditional pathways or expectations, right? Like maybe you land a job or a gig in some sort of cutting edge industry that feels like, you know, virtual reality or space exploration, or like cloud computing, right? Or digital art, something that feels a little bit more futuristic or innovative. I also do think though that this represents you manifesting more spiritual growth and more heightened intuition. Maybe you're going to be gaining some sort of like psychic insights that really guide your choices, right? Like maybe, for example, some of you here feel this like very undeniable pull towards a certain decision, right? Like maybe for some of you here, you feel like moving to a specific place, or you feel like starting a particular project, which maybe later proves to be very serendipitously perfect, right? I do think that this is representative of you like exploring new places, right? Like maybe even like literal or metaphorical new worlds. Like maybe you have a chance to travel to some sort of like far away, like exotic destination, or maybe you have a chance to dive into some sort of new field of study that really opens your mind to huge possibilities. I just think that the possibilities that you're attracting, it really does embody this like magic of merging your imagination with reality, right? Kind of like making the impossible possible. We also have the farther gate. This one says bold step forward. So with this one, I feel like you're about to enter a phase where maybe you're going to be like moving beyond comfort zones, right? So maybe you're going to get some sort of opportunity that feels very expansive, or it feels very challenging, but in a very positive way, right? Like maybe you grow through some sort of transition, right? Like I do think that luck is going to favor your willingness to leave behind old patterns or old situations that don't serve you. I also think that this could represent you getting some sort of unexpected support. Maybe you taking the leap in some way is going to attract more allies, or, you know, resources that you didn't anticipate that you would have, and it'll help you to move forward in some way. I also think that you're going to be getting some sort of clarity when it comes to your vision, right? So maybe your path is going to become more illuminated in some way as you walk it with determination, right? As you walk it with bold steps forward. So maybe this is you like taking, you know, calculated risks, or trusting your intuition, or really staying open to positive surprises. We also have show the world the real you. This one says full moon in Aquarius. So I do think that you're drawing in situations that really do allow you to fully express your unique talents, things like your unique quirks. And I do think that these opportunities might be in either like social or professional or creative settings where your originality really stands out and it's really appreciated. Aquarius energy here also does highlight community. It highlights things like networking. So maybe you attract, you know, your soul family or your tribe or friends, or, you know, a team that really does value your individuality, and they're there to help you achieve some sort of shared goal. I think that you're going to be getting some sort of big breakthrough like I spoke about earlier. If there's been any of you out there that like have been feeling stuck, this is the card that brings luck in the form of sudden shifts or like epiphanies, because Aquarius energy really does encourage you to think outside of the box. And it really does lead you to some really cool, creative, like innovative solutions, right? And maybe some unexpected progress. I feel like you're going to find luck in releasing the things that no longer serve you, right? So especially things like societal pressure, right? Maybe like self-imposed pressures to conform. I think that this is you letting go and making space for manifestations that like maybe are more aligned with your true self. Full moons also signify things like completion. So maybe any sort of creative or visionary endeavor that you've been nurturing may come to fruition, right? Maybe you're also going to attract inspiration for some sort of new forward-thinking idea. I think this also represents you manifesting more freedom and more independence. I think that you're going to feel like you're a lot more liberated from maybe any sort of constraint that you once felt, and you're going to be trusting in your uniqueness, right? That's something that Aquarius does really well. I also feel like maybe some of you here are going to be feeling a bit like rebellious against norms. So maybe some of you here feel drawn to shake up routines or to challenge the status quo in ways that really do bring meaningful change. I think that also showing your true emotions and your passions and your ideas, even if they feel a bit unconventional or weird or different, they will magnetize your luck in this really beautiful way. So yes, I think this is about you embracing that inner visionary that you have within you and really leading with confidence and trusting that the world is going to meet you where you are. We also have, when I'm grateful for what I have, I can feel good along the way to what I desire. Wow. So with this one, I feel like it's about like acknowledging what's going right in your life, right? So sometimes I'll talk about like triggers versus glimmers, right? Triggers are the things that pop up that make us feel not so good, right? And so I think it's really easy to point out what triggers us, but this could be a sign for you to start pointing out glimmers in your life, which are like positive things, good things that happened to you today. And I actually just saw a video about someone saying like, you know, put this in your notes app in your phone and write down good things that happened to me. And you just start making a running list of all the good things that have happened to you, or the positive things that you've noticed out there, or the sweet moments that you've noticed. And I think that it really does help to kind of like rewire and shift some of your thinking, especially for those of you who consider yourself a little bit more like realistic, right? But sometimes maybe it tends to be more pessimistic. I'm right there with you. It's something that like I've definitely have been trying to work on as well. And it's not necessarily bad to like be not overly optimistic as well, right? There's a reason why our brains are all wired in different ways. But yeah, I just think that when we notice what's going right, it just attracts more of that positivity into our life, right? When it's almost like when something good happens and you kind of affirm to the universe that like, hey, I like that, more please, right? It's kind of like that. So when I'm grateful for what I have, I can feel good along the way to what I desire. We also have a gem card here. This one is a sapphire, and it says, oh, it's a dress lucky card. So sapphire, lucky in several cultures around the world. The ancient Greeks believed that the sapphire was the gem of Apollo, god of prophecy. In later times, such as the Middle Ages, the stone was thought to attract divine blessings, and royalty thought the stone would protect them from harm. Most famously blue, sapphires can bring luck in many areas of your life, including money. How to capture luck. If money is no object, buy yourself a sapphire ring. If you're on a budget, wear sapphire blue clothes instead. Ooh, so I wonder if some of you here are going to be using sapphire to attract more luck, to dress lucky. Maybe sapphire is a significant stone for some of you here, right? Like maybe for some of you here, it's your birthstone. Maybe for some of you here, you want to work with more gemstones, more crystals, things that will help you to attract more luck. I love using citrine. This one is something that you can attract more abundance, wealth, success with. I do have an online shop with a bunch of crystals for you to explore, and each crystal has a different intention or a different purpose. I don't have regular citrine right now, but I do have heat treated citrine, so definitely check it out if you feel called. I also have things like clear quartz, which is another really powerful crystal when it comes to manifesting things and like amplifying your manifestations and your intentions. So link to my shop is in the description if you feel called. We also have the intimacy card here. So I think just straight up, maybe some of the luck that you're attracting or manifesting next is more intimacy in your relationships, right? And maybe not just the physical act of intimacy, but the feeling of closeness, right? The feeling that you know somebody on a deeper level, or in their, you know, somebody's inner world a little bit more, right? So for those of you who are in a relationship, maybe you get closer to your partner, you understand them on a deeper level. I'm hearing like love languages, those things. For those of you who are interested in learning more about personality types, or again, things like astrology, learning more about your partner's sign, or learning more about how to understand birth charts in a really simple way. Again, I do have a podcast on that, so check it out. Link is in the description if you feel called. When I see the word reminiscing here, and then we have the Six of Cups, like I wonder if there's, some of you are going to be like reuniting with somebody, but that's just for a specific some of you. And yes, well, thank you so much, Pile 2. I hope that this was a fun reading. I hope it resonates. Please give this video a like and comment below with what pile you chose. I love to chat with you all in the comments. Subscribe if you have not already. Thank you. Please take care of yourself. Check out my channel, Tidal Tarot. I've got a bunch of different pick a card readings for you to explore. I've got other videos as well. But if not this time, I will see you on the next video. Bye, Pile 2. Hi, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out what luck you're currently attracting or manifesting next. Okay, so you have the moon in Capricorn in the 7th house. With the moon and Capricorn in the 7th house here, I feel like you're manifesting luck in building structured, really long-term relationships, you know, whether this is personal or professional. So this is the energy that really does emphasize partnerships that are very grounded, that are very goal-oriented, and that are mutually beneficial. So I do think that this is representative of you manifesting some sort of professional luck, right? So maybe some of you here attract partnerships or some sort of collaboration with someone who is, you know, ambitious and reliable, and people who can help you achieve your career goals or some sort of financial success. So for example, like say you're a real estate agent, and maybe the luck that you're about to attract is you securing a co-listing agreement in real estate with someone who values your dedication and your skills, right? For example, like in the relationship department, maybe you're going to be partnering with a mentor, or, you know, some sort of like romantic, interesting. Okay, wait. So maybe this is you manifesting more relationship luck. Like I do think that things like emotional maturity and stability are going to define your connection. So maybe you're going to form or strengthen a relationship with someone who really does share your long-term vision, right? So if it's in work, then maybe you're partnering with a mentor or a client. If it has something to do with romance, then maybe you're going to be connected with some sort of romantic interest who really does value your practicality and your work ethic, right? So I think that this is you manifesting relationships that do bring very tangible and lasting rewards. We also have the Ace of Cups here. So with the Ace of Cups, aces can talk about things like beginnings, right? Like opportunity. So this is the card that symbolizes new beginnings in emotional fulfillment and love and creativity. So I do think that you're going to be manifesting things that are related to deep connections, having this overflowing sense of joy and inspiration, right? I do think that you're attracting this period of emotional clarity and healing, right? Maybe any sort of past wounds will feel lighter as you allow yourself to embrace self-love and things like forgiveness. I also think that for you, luck could come in the form of some sort of supportive relationship or situation that does encourage your vulnerability and things like your emotional growth, right? So I do think that with the Ace of Cups here, this can often signal the beginning of some sort of new emotional bond, whether this is romantic or platonic or even spiritual. I do think that you're manifesting luck in attracting people who do know how to like uplift and inspire you, right? People that know how to make you feel seen and understood. I think that this card is also a powerful symbol of creative potential. So for those of you who have been seeking inspiration, definitely know that it's on its way. Luck here could be maybe like a breakthrough in a creative project, right? Or maybe the manifestation of some sort of idea that brings you joy and brings you fulfillment. I also think that this could represent you having some sort of like spiritual abundance, right? Like spiritual blessings, maybe the opening of your intuition. I think that many of you here are going to be attracting synchronicities, maybe guidance from your higher self, right? We do have like this white bird in the sky. So I'm thinking about guidance from your higher self or some sort of opportunity that aligns with your soul's desires. I just think that you're going to be in some sort of like really beautiful phase where emotional and like creative fulfillment are on the horizon, right? So this is you embracing something with an open heart. We also have the Hierophant here. This one says Redwood National and State Parks. I wonder if some of you are manifesting a trip to the Redwood National or State Parks. But this is a card that's symbolic of things like tradition, things like structure, things like spiritual wisdom. So I wonder if some of you here will be manifesting luck in situations that involve some sort of like established institution, right? Or some sort of like tradition, whether this is education or religion or, you know, something corporate. I also feel like maybe things like promotions, scholarships, or getting some sort of recognition within a formal setting could be something that you're manifesting here, pile 3. I also think that some of you here might be finding or becoming a mentor, right? I think that this guidance is going to lead to a lot of clarity in terms of like decisions and alignment with your life's path. I also think that opportunities could come up from things like networking with like very influential people or very knowledgeable individuals. I also feel like many of you here, like with the Hierophant, like you see how this person's like throwing their hands up into the sky and they're like really embracing this beautiful like vast forest. I wonder if you experience some sort of breakthrough in your spiritual or your personal growth, right? Maybe you're going to do some inner work that really does align you with the right opportunities and aligns you with things that resonate with your core values. So yeah, I don't know. Some of you here, maybe you're going to be joining some sort of like group thing, right? Like a club or an organization or some sort of group, right? I do think that you're going to be forming connections that are based on shared beliefs or like structured environments or traditions, right? We also have Banyan Blessings. This one says security, the Hermit, expansion, and stability. With this one, I feel like it's like much like the Hermit card in the tarot. Maybe some of you here are like undergoing some sort of phase of introspection or self-discovery, right? Maybe you're seeking wisdom or guidance in some area of your life. I do think that you're going to be working on creating a very firm foundation, whether this is through personal growth or like strengthening your relationships or focusing on career or financial stability. But I do think that whatever you're working on in terms of inner work is going to be leading to like outward growth. So I do think that during this time, you're going to be building a sense of trust in your own abilities. It's going to lead you to a future where you can expand with this very clear sense of purpose. And I think that this is a time where you're going to be laying down roots that allow you to both grow spiritually and materially in the coming months. And I think that with the foundation that you're creating now, it's going to offer lasting stability. Now, I also feel like maybe you're going to be manifesting more of like a solid financial foundation, whether this is like a secure home environment or maybe you're going to be improving your self-confidence. But I definitely just think this is a time where you're going to be focused on your own personal growth journey. You're going to be focused on knowing that as you cultivate this inner security, the external world is going to align with this newfound stability that you find within, right? As within, so without. We also have the Jeweled Web. This one says connectivity. I also just wanted to point out all the greens that I'm seeing here. Maybe you're going to be manifesting something that has to do with your heart, right? Like something that has to do with the heart chakra or your heart's desires. maybe more money, right? More money too, because I see green. Maybe more time in nature. Maybe some of you here are going to manifest more networking opportunities, right? Relationships that really do feel like-minded, right? So with the jeweled web here, pile 3, right? With this connectivity card, you're going to have a deeper understanding of your place in the bigger picture, right? So I do think that you're going to be gaining insights into how your actions and your decisions impact maybe like a broader network, or maybe like how you make an impact in ways that you haven't even anticipated, right? So I do feel like this is you aligning with people or groups of people who, again, share your vision, or, you know, they want to help you manifest what you desire. I think that your energy is going to be pulling in those who offer guidance, those who offer knowledge, those who maybe, you know, have that commonality with like shared experiences that can contribute to your growth. So yeah, lots of like serendipitous encounters, maybe like unplanned meetings that will be very significant to you. Maybe they're going to bring in new perspectives or like new opportunities that maybe you didn't see in the past. But I really do think that this energy represents you just acknowledging the interconnectedness of all things and really encouraging you to trust that every single encounter has its purpose in your journey. And the luck that you're attracting, pile 3, it's not just about individual success, but it's about that richness that comes from connecting with other people in really profound ways. We also have the It's Time to Take Action card here. This one says New Moon in Aries. Ooh, okay, so I feel like this one, with this card, I feel like it's inviting you to take very bold, confident steps and really go ahead and like initiate new things, right? Because Aries is all about leadership. Aries is about courage, you know, it's about independence. So I feel like this could be a very powerful time in terms of you manifesting some sort of personal empowerment or like courage or confidence or new beginnings. And I feel like with this lunar energy, you're likely to be attracting opportunities for growth and new ventures, right? Like, especially in areas of your life where you've been feeling that call to step up and assert yourself. Aries reminds us to take risks and to pursue our desires with our passions and with our intensity. So I don't know if some of you here are going to be starting up new projects or new business ventures. Maybe some of you here are going to be aligning with exciting opportunities that lead you to, you know, innovate, whether this is in your career or your personal life or, you know, your creative pursuits. I just think that this is you taking action, and taking action now is going to propel you forward in some way. Again, I just want to highlight self-confidence. Like, you're going to be manifesting more courage, more determination. I think that you are going to be able to overcome any sort of like self-doubt that might pop up, and you're going to be able to move forward with self-assurance. I also feel like with this, with the new moon in Aries, it offers us this fresh start. So for those of you who, you know, are interested in healing from past limitations, or you feel like you've been holding back, or, you know, you've been feeling stuck in some area of your life, this would be a really good time for you to, you know, work on breaking free from those habits or those fears, right? So I also feel like you're going to have the opportunity to have some sort of leadership, which is, again, something that was confirmed with the Hierophant. So I do think that you're going to step into the spotlight with this Aries energy. You're going to be able to lead others. I think this is going to be a great time for you to take charge of a project or a team, or maybe even your own personal journey, right? This is you manifesting physical strength, emotional strength, right? This is the energy that encourages us to move our body and to take care of our health and to really build things like emotional resilience. So yeah, super exciting. We also have I'm in awe of the magnificent guidance that's available to me. Interesting. So I do think that this is you like tuning into your intuition. This is you getting centered and tuning into whatever intuitive guidance that you're receiving, right? Because when we get still enough, when we get quiet enough, we can tune in to that like spiritual guidance, right? When we're deeply immersed into a big, vast, quiet forest, that's when we can really hear that guidance, right? So maybe this is you being able to tune into your intuition a little bit deeper, really being able to trust that intuitive guidance that's coming in, right? We also have a flock of birds here. And so this is an Inspire Luck card. And this one says, okay, flock of birds, lucky in several cultures around the world. Birds are believed to be a connection between heaven and earth. Owing to the numbers that flock together, they're regarded as a symbol of abundance and progress. Birds are said to fly in flocks to protect themselves from predators. As the old saying goes, there's safety in numbers. If they appear in your dreams, good luck is on its way to you. And it says how to capture luck, grab your binoculars and get out bird watching. Wow, okay. Maybe some of you are, you get signs or, signs from the universe, or you see synchronicities with birds, or maybe you see like spirit animal totems, right? I know that different people, like for example, when I see like egrets, I know that it's going to be a time of abundance or a time of harvest, right? Like it's a time when you clear out the old and there's this new abundance that shows up. So I always think of prosperity when I think of things like egrets. Maybe you have a specific bird that you feel connected to, right? Like many people here feel connected to like cardinal, but yeah, flock of birds. I don't know if some of you out here have been seeing flocks of birds, or maybe this will be some sort of sign that pops up in terms of the luck that you are attracting or manifesting next. We also have fire sign. This one says Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So again, I love it when the cards confirm themselves. We have Aries, which is a fire sign here, right? So this Aries energy is very prominent here. Maybe some of you here are manifesting a fire sign, or manifesting a connection with a fire sign, a relationship with a fire sign. Maybe some of you here have significant fire sign placements in your birth chart. For those of you who are interested in learning like a very basic, easy way to learn more about your birth chart, more about your signs, more about the planets and all of that, check out my podcast. I have it linked for you in the description below. But yes, thank you so much, Pile 3. Please give this video a like if it resonates. It really does help the channel. Comment below with what pile you chose. You do know that I love to chat with you all in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you. Please take care of yourself, and I do hope to see you on the next video after this. Check out my channel, Tidal Tarot. I've got a bunch of different pick a card readings and videos for you to explore, but if not this time, I will see you back on the next video. Bye, Pile 3. Okay, hi, Pile 4. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out what luck you are currently manifesting or attracting. Right, so what luck are you currently manifesting or attracting? Pile 4. You have Uranus in Sagittarius in the 10th house. Ooh, okay, so with Uranus in Sagittarius in the 10th house here, I feel like you're about to manifest luck in the form of like sudden career breakthroughs, or maybe some sort of like unconventional opportunity, or some sort of chance to expand your public image. So I think that your ideas, especially the unique ones, and your adventurous spirit, it's going to draw in a lot of attention, and it's going to allow you to stand out in your field, Pal 4. So expect things like travel, innovation, maybe even things like teaching related roles, because I do think that this is all going to play a big part in your professional growth here. I just feel like your luck is going to be centered around like embracing very bold visionary moves and being open to things like uncharted paths, right? The unknown. Now we also have the Queen of Blades here. This is the Queen of Swords, and with the Queen of Swords, this represents things like clarity, perception, and having a very sharp intellect. So with this energy, I feel like you're attracting luck in areas that require you to be decisive, or maybe require you to stand in your independence, or maybe it requires you to like communicate very clearly, right? So the Queen of Swords can talk about a time where you feel a little bit more empowered to make decisions based on wisdom and logic rather than your emotions. And I think that this might be what leads you to significant progress in your career or your finances or things like your personal growth. Now, I also feel like you might find that maybe there's some sort of like opportunity to lead or to make some sort of important career decision, right? So if any of you here are involved in some sort of like collaborative work environment or business, I do feel like your ability to speak your truth and make really like strategic choices are going to help you to gain recognition in your field, right? So for example, like maybe some of you here are selected for a leadership role and you find yourself in a situation where your advice is something that's highly sought after. I also think too, though, with the Queen of Swords here, maybe this represents like financial clarity, right? Maybe this represents a time when you can finally see through any sort of financial confusion or uncertainty. And so if you've been struggling with things like debt or budgeting or, you know, your investments, then maybe with the Queen of Swords here, it talks about you like getting the mental clarity that you need to make these very clear, sound decisions, right? So for example, like maybe you come across some sort of like financial strategy that finally works for you, right? Or you're able to cut ties with any sort of like unnecessary expenses that really do free up your resources. So the Queen of Swords, I feel like invites us to trust our logic and our intellect, right? So I feel like some of you here are going to find yourself more discerning when it comes to people or situations that really aren't serving your, you know, your best interests. And maybe this is going to lead you to some sort of newfound sense of independence, right? So maybe for some of you here, you're going to distance yourself from toxic people, right? Toxic relationships, or you're going to be empowering yourself to focus on healthier, more supportive relationships, right? I also think that you're going to be attracting luck in terms of like being an effective communicator, right? So whether you guys are involved in things like negotiations or creative expression, or, you know, maybe you work in a job where you have to have difficult conversations. Either way, I just feel like your ability to articulate your thoughts clearly and, you know, assertively, it's going to attract favorable outcomes for you, right? So for example, maybe some of you here win a very important negotiation or you seal a deal that really does align with your values. So I do think that with the Queen of Swords here, you're going to get some sort of like luck around like mental fortitude, right? Or having clear boundaries or having the power of this really strong discernment. We also have the Six of Blades. So this one is the Six of Swords. And so this card typically represents things like transition, things like moving away from, you know, difficult situations, and maybe even like moving towards smoother, calmer waters, right? So it's really this card that represents healing and progress and mental clarity. So when it comes to what kind of luck you're attracting or manifesting next, I feel like you're moving toward a period of greater stability, right? And more mental peace. And maybe this is after a time where things have felt pretty challenging, right? Or you've experienced hardship. I just think that with the Six of Swords here, this represents some sort of relief from stress or like relief from overwhelm. So, you know, for those of you out there who have been feeling mentally or emotionally overwhelmed, I think that the Six of Swords represents you finally experiencing that period of calm, right? In that period of mental clarity. I really feel like luck could show up for you in the form of like finding new tools for managing stress, right? Like meditation or therapy, or maybe even a change in your environment that helps you to feel like some of your mental burdens are eased, you know? I also feel like maybe some of you here could be moving, right? Maybe some of you here are going to be changing jobs or embarking on a new relationship, right? I think that this is something that's going to unfold smoothly. So I think that for a lot of you here, you're going to find luck in the form of opportunities that make these transitions feel very effortless and much easier, right? Especially much easier than you like anticipated. So yeah, for those of you who have been going through any sort of difficulties in your personal life or your professional life, I feel like you're going to be manifesting the healing energy that's going to help you to move on, right? So whether this is getting like support from others or guidance from a mentor, or maybe even getting like some sort of unexpected resolution to some sort of like issue that was lingering, I feel like this is going to be something that's allowing you to move forward without looking back, right? So I feel like this card represents you attracting opportunities to expand your horizons, whether this is through things like travel or whether this is through things like education or making new connections. I just feel like you're going to discover new places, new ideas, or maybe new people that help you to grow mentally and emotionally too. Yeah, so I don't know, for some of you here, maybe you're closing a chapter of your life, or you're like, right, like ending an old job or an old relationship, or you're ending an old habit, right? I think that this process is going to be something that is smoother than what you expected, right? So you're going to have new opportunities as soon as you release what no longer serves you. So you are manifesting this really beautiful period of peace, of healing, right? Like smoother transitions. And you're going to have the chance to let go of any sort of past struggles and to move forward with clarity, right? This is freedom. We also have Voodoo roots. This one is respect. This one says respect, survival, liberation, and freedom. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. This energy is you like standing really strong in your freedom, standing tall in your truth. There's a lot of personal empowerment here, right? So for example, maybe in your career, you find yourself stepping into a more prominent role, or like maybe you find yourself leading a project or negotiating a contract that really does allow you more independence in your life. I feel like people may begin to treat you with more respect. Maybe people will begin to like value your opinions, right? Or share that they value your opinions more, or your contributions. Maybe this also signifies some sort of like financial breakthrough or financial freedom, right? So maybe for some of you here, you receive some sort of unexpected financial opportunity or some sort of breakthrough, right? In your investments or in your business ventures. I just feel like you're going to feel a lot more liberated when it comes to your financial state. I also am feeling a lot of freedom in your relationships here. Maybe some of you are manifesting more respect or more liberation, right? Maybe you felt like you were in relationships that were once kind of constraining or limiting, and now you have more space to be yourself, right? Without being scared of judgment, right? Maybe you attract people who truly honor your independence and who truly honor your values, right? Maybe you're going to be manifesting more authentic friendships or more romantic connections where you feel free to express yourself, right? We also have dances on one foot, and this one says balancing act. So right away, I'm thinking about work-life balance. Like, I feel like a lot of you here are going to be finding yourself like maybe delegating tasks more easily or more effectively. Maybe some of you here are going to figure out how to finally like streamline your workload, right? Something that allows you to enjoy personal time without feeling overwhelmed. I also feel like in your relationships, maybe the balancing act represents you working on creating harmony with your loved ones, right? Like maybe this represents you attracting opportunities to heal or deepen your connections. Or maybe in like your career and business, right? Maybe you're attracting opportunities where you can take on leadership roles with this very like collaborative but balanced approach. I just definitely think that you're going to be in this like creative flow, right? I do think that maybe creativity is going to flow more easily for you, or you're going to find this like really nice balance between inspiration and then like executing it, you know? We also have a fiery climax approaches. This one says full moon in Aries. So with this one, I feel like, okay, well, let me back up for a second. Aries is representative of action and courage and being assertive. So I do think that this is time for you to embrace your personal power and your initiative. I think that this is what's going to move you forward in whatever area of your life you're trying to achieve success in. I also feel like this could represent some sort of career breakthrough, right? So maybe you feel this intense push to go after a new job or a new promotion or some sort of business opportunity that really aligns with your true passion. I do think that with the full moon in Aries, you're going to have the courage to take bold steps, like submitting that application, right? Or initiating negotiations, or really taking that leap into entrepreneurship. I do think that for some of you here, you could land a high profile project and you realize that it's time for you to ask for like a raise, right? Or, you know, something that more so aligns with your vision and like where you're headed. There's a lot of personal empowerment here. We also have the I slow down and listen to the guidance that's available to me. That's interesting because I feel like there's a lot of energy around like taking action. And then this one says, I slow down to listen to the guidance that's available to me. So what I'm getting with this one is I'm feeling like when we're in the mode of taking action and doing, we do need to remember to slow down and take our pauses, right? Rest. It's almost like when you're like running a marathon, right? You're not running full speed the whole time, like you're pacing yourself, right? And so I do think that your journey does involve you pacing yourself. It does involve you kind of slowing down so you can hear this inner guidance, this inner wisdom, right? Or because when I see the crown, I'm thinking this wisdom is coming from your crown chakra, right? For those of you who are interested in getting your creative projects off the ground, I really do feel that when you slow down, when you take moments of pause, when you play, when you have fun, when you're not forcing and you're just flowing, this is when the guidance is going to come in a lot more easily. And then we have the crossed fingers card here. So this is an increase luck card. And it says crossed fingers, lucky in several cultures around the world. Crossing your fingers for luck is one of the most widely recognized symbols for fortune in the world. It's believed to mimic the religious sign of the cross and symbolize God's protection. But it started during pagan times as two people crossing their index fingers together. Persecuted Christians would also cross their fingers to protect them when they were forced to tell lies about their faith, something people still do when lying to this day. Don't make this gesture in Vietnam though, because it's considered obscene there. How to capture luck? Cross your fingers for luck, for yourself, or to show support for a friend when they need better fortune. So as with all the other piles, you know, maybe this is a sign for you, right? Maybe when you see like fingers crossed, this is like your lucky sign, your lucky symbol. Maybe this is like when you see fingers crossed, it could be a confirmation for you along your journey. But I think that you're manifesting like a wish, right? Like usually like when you're wishing on something, you cross your fingers, right? You're hoping that that wish comes true. So I do think that whatever it is that you've been wishing for here, right? See stars here too. So like whatever you've been hoping, wishing, dreaming for, just know that that is something that you are attracting towards you, that this is something that you are actively manifesting, pile 4. And then we also have the yes card. This one says luck is on your side. So I think this one's just pretty straight up. You're going to be getting a yes to something, right? You're going to be getting a yes maybe on maybe a decision that you've been waiting on, or maybe you've applied to something, you're going to get a big yes. Or, you know, for some of you here that who it resonates with, maybe you've asked somebody out romantically and you're going to get a yes, right? So luck is on your side. I also think, again, I want to point out that like sign, symbol, synchronicities, you may be seeing ladybugs out there too, so keep an eye out, right? Ladybugs, cross fingers, or whatever it is that your sign is. This could be like a spirit animal totem. So yes. Anyway, thank you so much, pile 4. I really do hope this video was fun for you. Please give this video a like if it does, a like if it was fun or helpful. Comment below with what pile you chose. I love to connect with you all in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself. Check out my channel, Tidal Tarot. I've got a bunch of different pick a card readings for you to explore. But if not this time, I will see you back on the next reading. Bye, pile 4.